2018 Audi A3 Saloon Review. The good points of Audi A3 Saloon: smart styling with neat proportions, excellent construction throughout, wide variety of engines to settle on, surprisingly big boot. The bad points of Audi A3 Saloon: not as engaging as rivals, rear seat space, some models pricey, lots of kit costs extra. The Audi A3 Saloon would be the firm's smallest four-door saloon, getting larger against the likes from the Mercedes-Benz CLA, Jaguars and smaller two-door BMW 2 Series Coupe. It shares its underpinnings together with the A3 and A3 Sportback, and so it comes using the same sharp styling, good quality interior and comprehensive selection of turbocharged petrol and diesel engines. While small saloons will be more popular in Asian and American markets, it's trading on its sharp styling and desirability in the UK. Nevertheless, it's more practical than it may seem. Despite its less practical access, the A3 Saloon's boot will be bigger as opposed to A3 Sportbacks, where there's fashionable bit of extra legroom because of a slightly stretched body -150mm more than the Sportback. Choice of TFSI and TDI engines. On the highway, the A3 Saloon is an effective performer that has a mature feel on the way it drives. It's quiet and refined no matter what version you decide on, performance models aside, which has a good selection of engines. Buyers can decide on a familiar choice of turbocharged TFSI petrols and punchy TDI diesels. However, the Saloon goes with no entry-level engines on the regular A3, also it doesn't come for a Neutron plug-in hybrid, either. High-quality interior. The interior in the A3 Saloon is among its most attractive selling points. It's simple and easy and fresh in their design, but it is all totally made from really plush materials which are pleasant to touch, with neat design details which render it a pleasant devote which to pay time. It's conveniently obtainable with extra tech, for example Audi's virtual cockpit, which besides makes life easier, and also makes the A3 feel genuinely upmarket and modern. Performance S3 and RS3 available. If you're seeking a more performance-focused A3 Saloon, you're well catered for using a choice of S3 or RS3 models. A turbocharged 310 horsepower 2.0-liter TFSI petrol engine matched by having an S-tronic automatic gearbox and quattro all-wheel drive powers the S3, providing a middle ground between regular A3 Saloons along with the high-performance RS3. If you intend to go all the way and choose the range-topping RS3, you'll make use of a 2.5-liter turbocharged petrol pushing out 400 horsepower, and it also makes for an authentic little super saloon with aggressive looks and sensational straight-line speed. The verdict: the Audi A3 Saloon can be a stylish and desirable small saloon having a suitably upmarket interior to check its premium image. It's not only a particularly engaging car they are driving, perhaps the high-end models will be more about straight-line speed than excitement inside the Benz. Nevertheless, it would undoubtedly be considered a satisfying car you can purchase due to its wide B-watch abilities. Plus, it provides a bigger boot compared to 5-door A3 Sportback, it's just more challenging to get to it. Audi A3 Saloon Review detailed. Wide collection of turbocharged engines. Diesels are punchy and frugal. Petrols are smooth and refined. The A3 Saloon's engine lineup largely mimics that with the regular A3s, but doing without entry-level units, so. TFSI petrol options. If you're seeking a petrol A3 Saloon, Your alternatives kick off having a 1.5-liter TFSI unit producing 150 horsepower and 250 Nm of torque. It's effective at completing the 0.62 mph benchmark sprint in 8.2 seconds, and should be on to reach a highly regarded speed of 139 mph. It's a smart engine, though, featuring active cylinder technology which, switching off cylinders to further improve efficiency once the car doesn't have to be using them. You can specify this engine having a 6-speed manual or even a 7-speed S-tronic dual-clutch automatic, both offering identical performance figures. If you would like more petrol power before you reach the dedicated sports versions, there's a 2.0-liter TFSI offering 190 horsepower and 320 Nm of torque. This engine supplies a noticeable drop in 0.62 mph time, taking just 6.9 seconds to try and do the sprint, be going on to reach 155 mph. Go to get a manual version. Also it's front-wheel drive. While selecting the S-tronic version adds quattro all-wheel drive to the mix, bringing the 0.62 mph time down again, to 2 seconds. Top speed just for this version is 150 mph, TDI diesels. Buyers can select from a trio of diesels within the A3 saloon, starting off which has a sensible 1.6-liter TDI with 116 horsepower and 250 Nm of torque. It'll complete the 0.62 mph sprint in 10.4 seconds when fitted with sometimes a 6-speed manual or 7-speed S-tronic auto gearbox, and should be on to reach 127 mph at the pinnacle end. Next up can be a 150 horsepower 2.0-liter TDI, both by using a 6-speed manual gearbox, but that has a choice of front or all-wheel drive quattro. It produces 340 Nm of pulling power. The front-wheel drive version takes care with the 0.62 mph sprint in 8.6 seconds, even though the quattro will manage it in 8.3 seconds. Both continue to reach 137 mph at the summit end. Providing one of the most diesel performances really a 2.0-liter TDI with 184 horsepower and 380 Nm of torque. It's driven through Audi's quattro all-wheel drive system and also a 7-speed S-tronic gearbox, and sprints from 0.62 mph in mere 6.8 seconds. It'll reach a 147 mph top speed. S3 Saloon. The S3 Saloon steps the performance if you're hunting for a fast everyday saloon. With a 2.0-liter TFSI petrol engine beneath the bonnet and 310 horsepower on tap, it's no slouch because of quattro all-wheel drive along with a slick-shifting S-tronic gearbox delivering a 0.62 mph duration of just 4.6 seconds. This car will carry on to reach a fixed top speed of 155 mph, if you ever find yourself upon an autobahn along with need of a blast. RS3 Saloon. If you desire peak performance through your A3 Saloon, the RS3 is definitely the one for you personally. Powered by way of a sonorous 2.5-liter TFSI turbo petrol, it generates 400 horsepower and is efficient at launching from 0.62 mph in a mere 4.2 seconds. It delivers its power relentlessly, powering with the S-tronic transmission incredibly quickly and smoothly unless you desire a more ferocious setup in sport, and seems like it'll keep working on and on. There's sound to complement, too, especially if you choose sports exhaust system at expense, sounding equally the bargain Lamborghini. Engines not available. The A3 Saloon was launched using a different group of TFSI petrol engines who have since been discontinued. They included a 1.4 TFSI with 140 horsepower and 260 Nm of torque, since replaced from the 1.5-liter TFSI with active cylinder shutdown. It managed the 0.62 mph sprint in 8.4 seconds and went on to attain a 132 mph top speed. Your more robust alternative was a single 0.8-liter TFSI with 180 horsepower and 250 Nm of torque. The 0.62 mph time falls to 7.3 seconds and top accelerate to 144 mph. However, it's the 1.4-liter TFSI that feels a lot more cohesive package if you're investigating a used A3 saloon. Tidy handling, and not exciting. Strong grip levels and little body roll. Several suspension setups. In general, the handling with the Audi A3 saloon is excellent. It's healthy and there's tons of grip being offered too. The steering, while somewhat numb, is direct and electronically well weighted to offer some engagement for keener drivers. There are 3 suspension possibilities: Standard, Sports and S-Line Sports suspension. On Sport trim level models, Sports suspension provides standard. However, you have the use of deselecting on and on for the standard suspension for no extra expense. You'll go to a 15 mm lower ride height with sports suspension. On S-Line models, moreover, you may get sports suspension as standard, because you can have precisely the same no-cost solution to revert returning to standard suspension and the option of S-Line sports suspension, which lowers the automobile a further 10 mm. Audi's Drive Select system means that you can tweak the steering between dynamic and comfort based upon your driving requirements, or you can get forced out in auto and let the automobile decide what's best with the way you're driving. You can also create your own individual parameters. Solid, well-built interior. Lots of tech available. Very an easy task to navigate. The A3 saloon is often a refined and pleasant destination to be. The materials feel better compared to inside from the Mercedes-Benz CLA, where there are plenty of optional extras to pick from to further improve the cabin's feel further. All in the dials are well placed within the dash, plus the trip computer is really a switch screen between rev counter and speedo that may be controlled using buttons within the steering wheel. Tell you vehicle information, navigation information or stereo details. Introduced as part from the 2016 facelift, though, was Audi's excellent virtual cockpit, which replaces a regular instrument cluster that has a big digital screen which might be configured to exactly how you would like it to take a look, displaying sets from SATNAV instructions and fuel economy, to what's playing around the media system. Special mention must see Audi's MMI system, which works on the touchwheel located through the gear lever to manipulate functions displayed within the 7-inch screen. It offers 64 GB of storage alongside 3D SATNAV and cell phone connectivity via Bluetooth. It is controlled through the touchpad, which not simply works being a rotatory selector system but enables you to input letters with the finger simply by writing within the top from the selector. Upgrading towards the more advanced version with the same system, the Audi Connect system means the car actually becomes a Wi-Fi hotspot so passengers can surf the net when you drive. It also allows link to Google Maps and Street View for that SATNAV. Comfort depends upon suspension. Good ride around the whole. S-Line looks good, but stiff. When you are looking for comfort within the A3 saloon, the degrees very much depend about the type of suspension your vehicle has fitted. Best ride quality comes together with the slightly high-riding standard suspension, which has come about as a no-cost optional extra over the range. Conversely, if you desire the ultimate in handling, then you should sacrifice some ride quality using the S-Line Sports suspension, which supplies a much stiffer, lower setup. The seats are supportive and cozy, though there's not really a huge volume of road or wind noise to complain about if you do not opt for the model using the largest 19-inch wheels, as they possibly kick up quite an amount of noise. Opting for these particular rims means you ought to also specify Audi's magnetic ride system, which reduces how crashy it is usually over the worst surfaces in the highway. Comprehensive light-equipped all-round S-Line and Black Edition are extremely desirable. Options list might be expensive. The Audi A3 Saloon only can be purchased in 3 trim levels: Sport, S-Line and Black Edition. But all come equipped that has a generous set of standard equipment, with additional available to add for expense. Standard Audi A3 Saloon equipment. The A3 Saloon lineup kicks off while using Sport, coming with plenty equipment, including 17-inch alloy wheels, Audi Drive select driving modes, xenon headlights with LED daytime running lights, dual-zone climate control, MMI multimedia system with sat-nav, Bluetooth and Audi Connect online services, cruise control, rear parking sensors, automatic lights and wipers. Upgrading on the A3 S-Line means the complete car's exterior gets a significantly sharper look with lowered sport suspension, a much more aggressive-looking body kit and 18-inch alloy wheels. It also adds the next equipment to standard sport trim: LED headlights with scrolling rear indicators, front sports seats with S-Line logo, brushed aluminum interior trim, flat bottom tire, LED interior lighting, extra interior storage. The Black Edition is dependent on looks, that has a black styling pack that switches chrome trim around the grille and around the windows with gloss black, while privacy glass, black door mirrors and titanium look, diamond-cut alloys complete the style. It also adds the Audi sound system stereo upgrade to regular S-Line trim. The S3 is often a trim level to use on right, coming while using following: 19-inch alloy wheels, Audi magnetic ride, S-Sport suspension, progressive steering, Nappa leather upholstery with heated front seats, Audi sound system. A Black Edition version from the S3 is sold, adding a similar features as on the A3 Black Edition, along with a Bang & Olufsen sound system and also a different style of 19-inch alloy wheel. The RS3 Saloon sits at the top with the A3 Saloon hierarchy, coming while using following: 19-inch alloy wheels, RS Sports suspension, braking and exhaust system, LED headlights all-round, matte aluminum exterior trim, Nappa leather upholstery with Alcantara trim to gear lever and tire, Audi virtual cockpit with her specific graphics, MMI navigation plus with Audi sound system. Optional Audi A3 Saloon extras. The options list is to can really rack inside the price on the A3 Saloon. We won't detail all, as there are too many to read. However, some key features are bundled to the following packs: Comfort and Sound Pack, Audi Parking System Plus, Bang & Olufsen subwoofer, heated front seats, hill hold assist. Technology Pack, Virtual Cockpit, MMI Navigation Plus, Audi Connect Services, Audi Phone Box with wireless charging. Options built into packs might be added as individual options, while other highlights include keyless entry and ignition, adaptive cruise control, Audi side assist, rear view camera. There's also the potential to select from a wide array of colors, especially you make payment for extra for something through the Audi exclusive color pattern, while various seat designs and wheels might be chosen if you order. Also, you should definitely select the best suspension setup in your case. 5-star Euro NCAP crash rating. Lots of driver assistance kit available. Solid build and a lot of safety equipment. The Audi A3 saloon hasn't been crash-tested by Euro NCAP yet, however the normal A3 scores a maximum 5 stars. The two cars share food items. When you are looking at how it's built along with the safety equipment they're fitted with. Optional safety equipment includes clever matrix LED headlights which change according to route information in the sat-nav and adjust the beam of light never to dazzle oncoming drivers. You may order adaptive cruise control, which automatically adjusts your vehicle's speed depending within the speed with the vehicle in the front. There's a lane keeping system which subtly steers the vehicle back into its lane if this detects drifting without driver input, and park assist, which steers your vehicle into parallel and perpendicular parking spaces. Finally, there's the pre-sense essential safety system, that will take preventative actions should the vehicle detect an imminent crash. If the adaptive cruise control can be fitted, including the system which warns, and after that brakes for, the driver if this senses a collision is going to happen. It will also secure the brakes on following a collision in order to avoid any further damage. Enough space for just a small family. Sloping roof, the only real black mark. 4 adults will fit with ease. The A3 saloon is usually a compact car, so those interested are unlikely to get buying due to its practicality credentials. However, there's plenty of room within the front seats using a generous number of adjustments within the seats, while those within the rear are treated to comfortable seats. However, taller passengers inside the rear might have trouble with headroom because the roofline might be more sloping as opposed to regular sportback. At least legroom isn't bad, so most will likely be comfortable on journeys that aren't too much time and arduous. It's certainly more spacious inside than its most direct rival, the Mercedes-Benz CLA. Despite as a saloon, the A3 can be a compact one, with neat and tidy proportions. That means it's very easy to maneuver into tighter than average spaces, however you'll need parking sensors anyway if you're regularly reversing. That jutting out saloon boot can nevertheless be deceptive because on the small, sloped rear window. The A3's boot is surprisingly practical, at 425 liters. In fact, it's the biggest inside whole A3 range with all the rear seats available, bigger even compared to A3 Sportback. However, you will discover limitations, despite its large, square load space. Access is bound due to your narrower opening that has a saloon body style, and folding the trunk seats down doesn't liberate all of the space because it does on something such as a regular hatchback. Finally, go for any model fitted with quattro all-wheel drive, and capacity falls to 390 liters due for the extra mechanicals located underneath the floor for that rear axle.